Hi there, I'm Katja from CompleteVocalCoach.com, and this is the 5th video of the practice project for singers. And today we're going to talk technique. We're going to talk about the difference between inhalation and support, and about what's going on or what should be going on in the abdominal area during exhalation, inhalation, and support. When we sing, we need to be able to take in air or inhale as fast and efficient as possible, because usually there's not much time in between the phrases to sort of breathe in. So the breathing in needs to be a quick reflex that is also preferably as silent as possible. And then we need to be able to hold back the air that you just took in, so that it doesn't escape all at once or too fast. Because if it would, you would run out of air, and the air would also interfere with the work of the vocal cords. So we need to resist that natural urge of the diaphragm that wants to release the air. And that is what we call support. Support only happens during tone production, so that's when we sing. Support does not happen when we inhale. Actually, that's the only place in singing when a singer can relax and when their abdominal muscles can and should relax in order to let the diaphragm expand and take in the air that you need. So you see that it's very important that we know when to work with certain muscles and when to relax them. We're going to find out what's going on here and what you're supposed to feel in the abdominal area during inhalation, exhalation, and support. First, let's feel what's going on here in the abdominal area when we exhale. So what I want you to do is release all the air, breathe out all the air with a hissing sound like this, until there's no air left. And place one hand on your solar plexus. That's like, if you want to find it, go walk through your ribs, and that soft space, that's the place we're talking about. Solar plexus, and the other hand on your lower abdomen around your navel. And just observe what's going on under your hands. So don't try and do anything. You just breathe out all the air until there's no air left. And this is a breathing out exercise, so you don't need to inhale or take in air first. Let's do it together. Like that. Okay? You can feel that there's some tension building up, and when there's no air left, you kind of let go of the tension. Did you notice as you were exhaling, breathing out the air, both of your hands were moving inwards, just like this first drawing shows you. You're getting thinner. You have a movement going on that way. Now let's do it again and really observe what you feel as you let go of the tension. So that's when you inhale. Let's do it together. Like that. Okay? Perhaps you can feel now different things under your hands. You can feel that both hands are moving outwards. So you feel there's a bulge emerging here around solar plexus. That's a sign that your diaphragm expanded. And also your lower abdomen around your navel is moving outwards. So your stomach kind of drops and it expands a bit. As you exhale, your both hands move inwards, you become thinner, you feel that tension building up in your abdominal muscles, and then you let go to inhale. And when you inhale, you feel that bulge emerging at solar plexus, you drop your belly, and you feel that the stomach also around your navel expands a bit. So where am I looking for? I'm looking for my marker. I'm going to show you what happens with the diaphragm. So as you do this, you would have the diaphragm, when you exhale, going like that, and your air escapes. And now when you inhale, when you relax and you create the space for the diaphragm to descend again and expand, it creates that vacuum in your lungs and the air can be drawn in. I'm totally messing up my drawing here, but I hope you understand. All right, let's do it again. Here we go. Hands on your belly. And did you make sure to check that you really let go of all the tension in the abdominal muscles as you inhale, so that you make sure that there's no tight muscles going on then? The reason why I'm pointing this out is a lot of people have the tendency to hold on to tight muscles when they inhale. And this becomes a problem because if you hold on to that tension, there will not be enough space for the diaphragm to descend quickly and expand. So we can try and feel what that feels like, just that you know what the difference is. So we're going to do kind of the wrong thing here. We're going to hold on to the tension. Okay, exhale, then inhale, but hold on to some of that tension and see what that does to your body, what it does to your breathing. All right, here we go. Like that. So you kind of, and now you're letting go of the tension. So did you notice that it was much more difficult to breathe in if you hold on to tight muscles? So if you're one of these people that have tendency to be tight, then make sure you work on this one and relax. Make sure you relax every time you breathe in. And I think the reason to why this is happening a lot is due to some kind of beauty ideals that we have. We want to look pretty, so we are subconsciously or consciously kind of holding our stomachs in all the time. And I also know a lot of people who are very trained in their abdominal muscles, but when they train, they're so used to kind of holding and locking that they are not used to full relaxation. So if you're one of these people who want to look good or who are really trained, you might want to put some attention here and just bring your awareness to what does it feel like when you relax, because we need that. All right, so if we're going to make a quick sum up here in between, as you exhale, you flatten. As you inhale, both hands move out. So you have a bulge emerging at solar plexus, and the stomach around your navel, it also drops out and expands a bit. But there's not really any use in trying to expand even more and push outwards, because that doesn't make your singing any easier. And in fact, this kind of outward pushing, it creates pressure that triggers constriction around your vocal cords. So you don't need that. So we could say like extra pushing to the outside. No, don't do that. Now let's try to maintain that hissing sound for much, much longer. So what we're going to do is we're going to release less air out of our lungs than the diaphragm would want to. So you're going to really kind of hold the air back. And in order to do this, you need to make sure that the bulge around solar plexus stays there. So only your lower hand is moving inwards this time, just like my third drawing shows you. Okay, let's do it together. First, we're going to exhale, then inhale, and then support. Here we go. like that. And I know it's maybe a bit difficult to see what's going on here, but what you should feel is that the upper hand, it stays there. You feel that bulge. So you're not moving inwards up here. And the lower hand is moving slowly inwards. When you don't have any air left, you release and let go. That's support. Perhaps you could feel now, as you were doing the support exercise, that there was a certain type of tension in the lower abdominal muscles as they were pulling slowly inwards. But there was constantly a gradual movement. And that's what we need for support. We need a constant gradual movement, as if you're working against a resistance. If there's too much tension in the lower abdominal muscles, then the support gets locked, and we don't want that. Now, there are also other places to focus on while you support, such as making sure that your ribs don't collapse, but they stay expanded. You can work with the muscles of your back, and you can work with the muscles in your loin, and that's all for another time. For now, just be aware of the right directions and be aware that you know what the difference is between tension and release. I'm a huge fan of awareness exercises, so I have some for you for next week. Here's what I want you to do. First of all, become really aware of the difference between tight muscles and release, so that you really become aware of if you're carrying that extra tension around and maybe you're not aware of it. Okay, so you could do those hissing exercises and make sure that you release and let your belly drop. You could also do just pure muscle work. So you pull in your stomach and you feel the tension building up, and then you relax and let it drop in one go. And you could even carry a little reminder around, like, I don't know, a stone in your pocket, and every time you touch that stone, you transfer your awareness to your lower abdominal muscles and check that there's no extra tension going on there. And then you would transfer this into your songs and put all your awareness on the correct support. So keeping that solar plexus bulged while you sing your phrases, and making sure that your lower abdominal muscles around your navel are moving slowly inwards as you sing. And when you have to take a breath, you release that tension in your abdominal muscles. So then you have the quick breath and the correct support going on. So that's it for now. If you have questions, you can put them in the comments below or send me a message through Facebook or Twitter. And if you found this video helpful or you liked it, you can share it with your friends. And we'll be back next time with more talk on singing practice and singing technique.